There you go, and there we have it. Well, I've just pulled in down here and making all that noise. Was a very excited number 6 here with Chris Kane. He was absolutely revving the heart about it because, of course, he's the rose between two thorns. He's the little two-stroke in amongst the 254 strokes here. So something special as we hear the double blast. We get down to our last call at this stage. So here we go, an opportunity to catch up here with Blaze. So keen to look out as we get on board there. Here we go. So Blaze, well, I don't know what you've got to do something wrong, but don't dare do it. But man, everything is just so perfect for you. You probably think you want to win by even more, but what you're doing, a hearty congrats. Now a New Zealand TT title, well deserved.
Thank you so much. Just can't say thank you enough to the team. You know, they supplied me with the bike, and to be honest, all season I haven't really been out there and thought, you know, I can't ride this thing. So a massive thank you to Chris Malcolm. Unfortunately, he broke his wrist on the Friday practice, so, you know, he owns the bike, and pre-season he actually signed me up to it and let me ride it. So, you know, he's sitting at home, and I just want to say thank you to him, and looking forward to seeing you hopefully at Taupo, and you know, everyone else in the team, Jack, Brody, Rob, all the other riders. Yeah, it's nice to get 3 in a row here, for sure.
Thoroughly deserve it, and well done, and that title to go with it also, so well done to Blaze. Sorry, mate.
Oh, and just a big, I'd like to just say hi to my girlfriend over in England. She's watching on Ctas. She stayed up till 4 AM to watch this, so yeah. Lots of love, mate.
Oh, browning points. How's that? You can have the microphone back anytime you like for that, Blaze. He's in a blaze of heaven, isn't he? Hey? How's that? Come on, Chris. Come and join us up here, mate. There it is, the rose between two thorns, the little two-stroke. Putting it in there. How you feeling?
Tired. Regan made me work for it really hard. You know, hats off to him. It is a 254 stroke, but I don't think there's really much in it between the 125, so he's pedaling the hell out of it this season. And yeah, it's good competition. I'm really hyped for him. We came together a bit through the Swampy Sweepers, but I'm really stoked that he didn't go down and we both finished. And yeah, we come for the battles. We got what we wanted.
All right, hey, that question I've been asking so many. What have you thought of Hampton Downs, the new international circuit, mixing the little club circuit and now the big national circuit? Is it working?
Yeah, definitely. I love the circuit. The whole back section, the club section, is totally awesome for 125s.
Yeah.
They're flowy. It's fast. A lot of edge grip needed. The join to the old track's a bit bumpy, but you know it makes it interesting. Yeah, really stoked to be here.
Maybe you can do a Levi Sherwood and get a little bit of air as you go over there.
Oh, yeah. Might need a softer spring, eh?
Hey, congrats and well done, mate. I hope this makes you feel positive, and all the best. Go Taupo.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks. See you all there.
Here indeed. Well, IMD, here he comes. Let's hear it, Regan Phipps. Yes, indeed. Regan, isn't it nice that you had to work for it, mate? You're just not going to get given it. These little two-strokes, mate, they're not going away in a hurry. Could you hear him and see how he was pushing you along?
Yeah, no, I knew he'd be behind me. I knew in the last race they'd have something to try and push for, so I knew I was the bait out there at the front, and sure enough, he took it, and he was after me, that's for sure. I knew he was real close, and when he came past, I thought, okay, that's cool, we can have a bit of a battle here for the next few laps. But we had a bit of a coming together on the long sweeper down there. Neither of us fault really. I think I just kind of wasn't sure where he was, and I looked up, and by that point I was staring into him, and then had to stand the bike up and went into the grass a bit, but brought it back on, and I was all right. But yeah, this bike's just feeling awesome. I'm loving riding it. The little IM250 made by Steve Bagshaw and raced by Red Baron Racing and Biggles is just feeling great, and you know I'm loving it. I'm loving being out there.
We were loving the fact that we had Steve up with us in the commentary box, and his exactly fantastic to get his insight into what's going on with racing. Hey, coming towards Taupo, one you look forward to?
Yeah, definitely. I love Taupo track, so no, I can't wait for the next round, and hopefully it'll be a good finish to the NZSBK season for me. So no, really looking forward to getting out there with these boys again, and yeah, should be good.
Hey, now from a fitness point of view, you're talking about how crucial it is. What's likely to happen next week? Do you take Monday off and you'll be back? Is it in the gym? Is it just training? What are you doing from the week for the next event?
I'm feeling pretty knackered at the moment, so I'm definitely going to have to do some off-track training over the next couple of weeks. So you're going to have to be pushing it, I think, for most of the days over the next couple of weeks. But you know, I'll keep pushing and keep trying to get that fitness up, and yeah, should be good for next weekend.
Well done, Regan. Congrats. Here we are, folks, making a wrap of our day. Still to come, the Gixer Cup and as well our GP two-stroke and classics. Bring it on.
Thanks very much, Neil. We cross back to the commentary box just as the field is led away now. Who's going to win this? Everyone's had a go at it. Tarvin Walker was good in the second race. Thomas Newton was good. Zach Fuller won the first race out of Taupri. But this is a little bit longer in distance. This is 6 laps. They have been running over 4. And you think, well, that's not such a big deal. It's only 2 more laps. But this is a long lap. This is a 4-kilometre lap. And these guys probably not used to that sort of racing at this level. But who knows? It's the Gixer Cup, folks. It's a brand new innovation for motorcycling racing in New Zealand. And it's courtesy of Suzuki. Simon Mead and his boys from Wanganui really have done a great job with this. For $6,000, yes, $6,000, you get a brand new motorcycle, 150cc Suzuki, plus you get outfitted from head to toe in Alpine Stars race gear, from gloves, helmet, leathers, you name it, boots, the whole lot. Chris Meads from Mead Speeds puts a titanium exhaust on the little 150 to get it up to nearly 20-odd horsepower, and you go racing. This is a round of what is the extended Gixer Cup. It started off in the Suzuki series at the Taupo Motorsport Park, then it went to Manfield, but because of the age restriction at the cemetery circuit at Wanganui, a lot of these kids, and some of them just 14 years of age, weren't allowed to compete there. So they decided they'd extend the championship series into the nationals, and that's what they've done, and that's why we're seeing them here at Hampton Downs. The penultimate round of the New Zealand Superbike Road Racing Championships, and as they head down into the Porsche Stepper for the first of 6 times, I can confidently predict it's a Suzuki in the front, because that's all there is out there. And once again, we see this early breakaway. 2 riders getting away here, and then they will reform into a bunch of about 5. And as Neil and myself have mentioned right through the weekend, the last thing you want to be doing on that last lap is be in the front, unless you're coming close to the checkered flag, because you will be swamped. There's 2 very good drafting areas here at Hampton Downs. You'll see one of them very shortly as they come up over the top of the hill, and the other one is on what we're calling the back straight by the Laser Plumbing Electrical Bridge. That's where the drafting works. If you get behind the guy in front of you can save a bit of energy, and then you can pull out of the draft 5 laps. Mr. Costello is telling me now, so we're sure going to do 5 laps. As I said, so you pull out of the draft. You see it here, 3 abreast as they go across the line. Blake Ross in the front, Tarvin Walker through in second, and it's Newton, Jesse Stroud in there, Zach Fuller and Shane Miller. There is a whole heap of them, and early going here, Neil, and I guarantee they all we saw them go across the line. I don't think that's the way they're going to finish.
Hey, indeed not. In fact, if it is, it's perfectly a fluke. Because with 5 races, you've actually got an odd number. So when you're going back to fourth, it's hard to get yourself back into that rhythm. So there you go. Blake, Tarvin and Thomas out there to show their excellence. Young Jesse. We've already had Jacob Stroud on the podium. Wouldn't it be great? Remembering this is the first ever TT title for this Gixer Cup as well. So this is brand new for these guys. It's a national championship. They've never had a TT before. So a brand new trophy for this Gixer Cup. So we'll look forward to crowning our Gixer TT champions at the end of this race. Blake Ross, Tarvin Walker, Thomas Newton, Jesse Stroud with that 4th place, a chance to be on that unique first up podium. With Zach Fuller, won the first race yesterday in the 5-wide finish, one of the most exciting finishes we've seen. Not as tight as what we saw in one of the classes today at .003 for 3 1,000ths of a second, but it was all 5 of them, and they were all within half a bike length of each other. Something that horses would be excited about at Ellerslie, and we got even more excited about motorcycles here.
Perhaps you're going to have to start installing a photo finish.
Yeah, well, there we go.
Well, I can tell you that the front 3 have just started to edge away a little bit. Jesse Stroud in 4th place, right behind him Zach Fuller and Shane Miller. But that may change as they work their way out of the high pull hairpin and heading down the hill now into the Porsche Stepper. I think it's still Blake Ross out of Pyro, the White Line Suzuki sponsored man, out in the front, but it's very hard to tell. And look at the different line. He dives over to the inside. I think he's trying to break the draft of the guys behind him. You see it all the time in cycling. They'll go which way, left and right on the road, just to break that little bit of a suction, that little bit of a draft that these guys are benefiting from in second, third and fourth. And the last time we looked, that was Tarvin Walker and Thomas Newton. Will it be that way again? They head up the hill now. Remember, they're not the fastest thing in the world, so we'll give them a little bit of time to get here. Just on 20-odd horsepower in race trim for the 150 Suzukis.
I'm looking out for the green helmet, but also one of them's got a bit of red round the fairing of the number in the front. They want to differentiate the difference here. So looking out for that green helmet there on the inside. That's the red of the fairing back over there in the third place, so we'll get a bit of an idea. So there it is, Blake. Yes, it is Blake. It is Tarvin with the red around it. That was my memory on that. I just forgot that green helmet, and that's something that's got to help us out there, Phil, because, man, the rest of it is just identical to watch. Blake, Thomas and Tarvin as they go. The only difference that time, Tarvin and Thomas change around.
Yeah, and I just wonder if there's a bit of, we mentioned it before, wasn't it? There's a little bit of ducks and drakes going on here. You lead this one and I'll lead the next one. No, you take this one and I'll take the next one, because the advantage is not being in the front all the time. But they're three abreast going into turn two. Foster's turn as they work out onto Swampy's curves now. It is still Ross in the front, Newton in second place.
Well, why would you want to be three abreast? You've got to be slipstreaming and get the advantage. You're going to get the momentum through the corner and you're going to be right on the gate of the other guy. Three abreast, hey, there's three wide. Man, you're covering a lot of extra track, so you can't get any advantage from that whatsoever. And you've got to be better to play follow the. It's not in your nature, is it? You want to be there. You know you've got to be. Yeah, you want to be in the front. But there is times when you purposely got to be in second place to get that slingshot to get up. Hey, just ask Robbie Bugden. If the finish line was 50 metres earlier, I think that would have been Daniel Meadham's TT today.
Right.
But he had that momentum. He had the slingshot. And it started back in the corner, down at the bottom there with Pirelli and Motul, and that's where it finished up here on the finish line. It's the momentum that carries you through there, and that's what coming out and using a slipstream is all about. Tell you what, some of them getting out a little bit wide.
Yeah, they've been listening, because they're line to stern now as they work their way down into the Porsche Tipper once again.
And that's Tarvin. See the red? We can pick. That's what we've been picking up. There's Tarvin. So Tarvin Walker has gone. Oh, look at that! You see, he's got that ability to look underneath his arm as he's got it there. He tucks his head down low. He's doing the monkey act there at the moment, and the way he can put his head in underneath his arm and look back behind him and get an idea. I would have thought he could smelt him. He was that close, but there you go. So Tarvin Walker has moved up. So well, I'm pretty sure it's Tarvin. We'll find out shortly. So looking, oh no, in fact, look at that. See, he's gone too wide on the corner.
Yeah,
here it is, Blake Ross, the green helmet again.
Yeah,
but it's Tarvin who's got the second. Thomas Newton back behind. Now see there again from Thomas. Why would you want to be moving out? I would not be doing that if you want to get that advantage. But in saying that, look at it, creeping forward. No, and then all of a sudden you don't lose it. You're better off to the slipstream and then try to come around it at a point here over up in the apex of the track. But hey, there you go. And all of a sudden, you watch, I think that's Blake Ross. I reckon that's Blake Ross. He's just made that move. It's not a big advantage, 0.65, but he's just now pulled that little bit of buffer before the three of them together. Unless Thomas and Tarvin can pull their way back to Blake, I think he's got to bring enough break to go all the way.
There's one thing they should keep an eye on. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news here, but they're very, very close to that double yellow line, the blend line going into the pits. Yeah. And if the officials have a good look at that, there might be some penalties dished out, because they're not allowed to go under that yellow line.
What I've learnt with the yellow line, it's the yellow line, but the point where they police it is where the dotted white line joins that yellow line. So you can actually be crossing the yellow line back a little bit earlier, as long as you're not at the point where the white line joins it. So there you go, a fine technical point, and I don't think I've seen anybody out of place, but yeah, we're talking about cigarette paper, the wrong words to use, Phil, again. But very close to it.
Well, I think Blake Ross has capitalised from that good drive coming out through the long front straight. He's just extended that lead a little bit now, and he's got quite the advantage as they work their way through Swampy's curves and out into Kev's carousel. And then the next test for them will be the double B, the double bastard corner. Oh, that was close.
That was close.
That was very, very close.
That was Tarvin Walker. Man, no, we have had a change there. I'm completely wrong. Don't know what happened there, but I think it's Tarvin that's got the advantage. And now all of a sudden, Blake Ross, I think he must have made a mistake, because he's actually, I think he's in third. I don't think that's the fight for first place that we're looking at there. I think that's Tarvin just in front. Oh, no, have we got it? Oh, no.
Hard to know from that position here.
It's not Leopard. I think that's the front.
That's the front runner.
Yeah, no, I think it's so I think we're going Tarvin, Thomas and Blake. Well, I'm going to be proved 100% right. I don't mind mind it at all because maybe it was a mistake or whatever. But I tell you what, Blaze needs to get that race going. Look at that. Here we are, tucking down on the inside, trying to squeeze through there. Dale ITM, Pirelli, Motor Oils, round the sweeper we head. Sensational, what they call it, sweeper number
look at
10.
the drive off the third place man. Got a great drive coming up the hill, so we might see a bit of a change here. We wait to see. It's the top. Will it be Blake Ross? Will it be Tarbin Walker? Thomas Newton's in the mix. Zach Fuller, I think, just might have seen off the pace a little bit. We'll have a look. That's side by side across the line. There'll be three of them together. White flag out, one to go, and it is still Tarbin Walker. You got absolutely dead right there, Richie. Tarbin Walker in the front, Blake Ross through in second, Thomas Newton in third, and once again, you can forget a blanket. You can throw a tea towel over them. That's how close they are.
Hills and gaps. We'll give the blanket to the Red Cross. I'll be kill somebody more because we don't have to waste material as much as that. It is the tea towel, beautifully worded here with Phil Dark. Pleased to be amongst our team.
Especially.
Yeah, exactly. And the craft that these guys are learning. And Blake Ross, I don't know, for whatever, I did not even see the fact that Howard slipped back, but I tell you what, he did the right thing to get back to second because he was the distant third, and he's fought his way back. 0.184 as Tarbin Walker. Now, it's a long time since Tarbin's had a win, and not to say anything negative to Tarbin, but it was something beyond his control because other people take a fiddle. There was something wrong with his motorcycle, and he did lose some results, but hey, he's still going to be back there on the podium at the end of this event for sure. And this is actually where the title is between these two, and Tarbin, sorry, my apologies, Blake and Thomas. They're going to fight it out. We are in for our final lap. There's the Tarbin Walker advantage.
It's quite a healthy advantage at the moment too. That's the biggest advantage we've seen as they work their way around the circuit, heading down into the dipper once again.
Now watch for Blake Fuller. He's the unsung one here. Sorry, my apologies. Zach Fuller. Zach Fuller. Watch for Zach because he's the one that could be making a pounce here. He's got closer and closer. And look at this as we come down towards the dipper. He's right. And look how shallow he goes. Beautiful to watch. Look as he gets the advantage down there. He's going to be within a wheel length of him. So
yeah,
coming for the charge home.
Slightly different line. Carries the speed through the corner. Yeah. Down into the sweeper they go. Remember, they're running to the chicken flag this time. I just wonder if that advantage that Tarbin's got is going to be a winning one because he will turn easily in front of this chasing bunch as they head down into the Dale ITM Pirelli sweeper for the last time. Second place is yet to be decided, I reckon. Is it going to be Blake Ross or is it going to be Tom Newton? You mentioned Zach Fuller. He's right there as well as they stream up the hill, and they are drafting for all concerned. But I think Tarbin Walker's got this one, Neil. I think he's got that.
Has he got it? Is he going to get it?
Zach Fuller gets second place. Blake Ross gets third. So once again, we see tight racing in the Gixer Cup, as they call it, the 150 Suzuki's, the one make series, 0.9 of a second between Tarbin Walker of Wanganui and Zach Fuller from Tilbury. So the message he got from Veg, from Pete McPhee, obviously working for Zach. His dad scored as well. Interesting to talk with Jimmy Bruin yesterday, and he saw